So here we have basically all of this week's preps, and as you can see, the big underlying theme here this week was canning. Hey guys, I'm Jara with Wicked Prepared. I just wanted to check in and let you guys know some of the things that we've picked up for our preps this week, hoping it can be just a little bit of inspiration to you in your own preps. So when I say this week's preps, I'm basically talking about everything that's kind of showed up at our house within the last week or so. I've been ordering a lot of stuff online for several reasons. Sometimes it's just the best way to get the best price. And even if it's something that I can just walk down and pick up at my local Walmart, I will order it online for pickup if I can. And that has nothing to do with me not wanting to go in the store. It's really just so I can get my shop and earn points, because a penny saved is a penny earned. So anywhere that I can save money or earn money back, I'm gonna do it. I usually do shop through Swagbucks, but there's also Rakuten, and there's other shop and earn services that you can use. I'll link what I use down below in case you're interested in trying some of those. There's a lot going on in the world right now. On some fronts, things are starting to seem a little more normal. Where I live, we are no longer wearing masks as of this week. And also, school is starting to seem a little more normal. I have all of my school-age children are finally all in school full-time, in person, 5 days a week. This is the first week that I have been at home without kids in quite a long time, and I've got to admit, it's kind of nice. My middle school kids, their school just announced a semi-formal that they're going to be having in a couple weeks, which they've missed out on all that stuff over the last 16 months or so. So that's kind of nice, but there's a lot of other things that we do need to keep an eye on, obviously, right now. Not let our guard down. There are a lot of shortages going on, and with the shortages, there's a lot of rising prices. And that's definitely going to affect us. They do not expect the prices to stop rising anytime soon. We also have a lot of breakdown in the supply chain. You know, we have a labor shortage going on. Nobody wants to work, and that means they are short on truck drivers to move things across the country. They are short on workers in warehouses to get things shipped out in a timely fashion. We have been dealing with a shipping container crisis. You know, so many breakdowns in that supply chain. I know that I've seen the price of the feed we buy for our ducks and chickens. I've seen that go up in price several times over the last couple of months only, and I know people who are raising other animals are seeing those feed prices raise a lot. And what that means, obviously, if it's costing more to raise those animals, it's going to cost us more in the end to eat those animals. So proteins is a big thing right now, that we're trying to stock up on a lot of proteins while we can still afford to do so. Another big thing is food preservation. I know you saw all those canning jars. A big part of surviving any emergency situation is being able to be self-sufficient and take care of yourself and your family on your own. So if you can produce your own food, that's important, but you also need a way to store that food. I do not consider my freezer to be part of my preps, because in many, many different types of emergencies that you're going to encounter, you're going to lose power. So you may lose everything in your freezer, or you may at least want to go without opening your freezer and using what's inside of it. Yes, you might have a generator. We do have a generator, so we really would be fine for a few days at least. But you know, there's also the issue of fuel for that generator. Depending on what the situation is, fuel may not be accessible and fuel may run out. So I really don't consider the freezer part of my preps. So canning is really one of the best ways to preserve the food that you grow and hunt and, you know, raise for the long term without electricity in the event that you needed to do so. If you like these types of videos, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos that we've got in the works. Enough talking, let's see what we've added to our preps this week. So this is what we got from Thrive Life. This is actually 2 months worth of deliveries, because I placed my delivery really late in April to take advantage of their big spring sale. And then I ordered early at the beginning of May. And because of the big sale, the shipping got held up a little bit, and they also had a glitch in the shipping. So I ended up getting my May delivery before I got my April delivery. But so here's what we got from Thrive Life. Now the pantry cans in the front, those items are only available in pantry cans because if I can, I always try to buy in the family size cans to take advantage of buying in bulk and saving. So I got the black beans, the instant black beans, because we're getting kind of low on those. We got 2 different yogurt bites. We got vanilla yogurt bites and pomegranate yogurt bites. And one of these was a really good deal. I can't remember which one, but I'm not sure why I didn't get more of those because we love the yogurt bites. The kids love the yogurt bites. Mr. Wicked Prepared loves the yogurt bites. They're really good in smoothies. And they're really good for you because they've got all the calcium, the dairy, they've got the active cultures that yogurt has. And they have a 25-year shelf life. So honestly, I'm not sure why I didn't buy more of those. Got one of the sauce mixes that was on sale. This is the Espanol, which is the beef gravy. Got 2 cans of the Fuji apple slices. Those were a great deal. Those were 50% off. I had to actually talk myself out of buying a whole case of these because they were such a good deal. And the kids really do love those. But I had to leave some room in the budget for some other things. So we got applesauce, which is something we have not yet tried, the applesauce, so that's going to be trying something new. The potato dices we are getting low on, so I had to get some more of those. Same with the pineapple. We've been using a lot of the pineapple, running low on that. And the beef dices, this was something that was in the big spring sale, and meat being such a big ticket item, anytime I get a chance to get that on sale, I grabbed that on sale. So I got the beef dices. And the cucumbers, this is a brand new item to Thrive Life. We have never tried the cucumbers. They just introduced this a couple of months ago and we haven't had a chance to order them. So this is going to be our first time trying these. So I'm super excited about that. My youngest daughter loves cucumbers and I have heard that those are amazing. Raspberries, we grabbed a can of raspberries, even though we do have at least a couple cans down cellar stocked up, but we love the raspberries, so grabbed another can of those. And then we've got the apricots. This is another item that we have not tried. There is not much that Thrive Life has that we have not tried. I think at this point this about does it. So we're going to try the apricots because we've never tried those before. Cheddar cheese, the shredded cheddar. This is another item anytime the proteins are on sale because they're a big ticket item. I try to grab those and stock up. The butternut squash, this was another 50% off like the Fuji apples, so I grabbed one of those. I got a gluten-free flour. I am not gluten-free. Nobody in our household is gluten-free. I just wanted to be able to try that so that I could speak with some experience to my friends that are gluten-free about that product. And then the one thing I got, the number 10 can, one number 10 can that is not Thrive Life. I got a cheese blend from Augustin Farms. I grabbed that from Amazon because that was on sale. And Thrive Life no longer makes a cheese blend powder, but I have a lot of Thrive Life recipes that call for it. So I've been subbing in their cheese sauce powder. So I thought this way I could kind of compare and see if there's any difference between using the cheese blend and the cheese sauce. So now we're on to some things that came from Amazon. This was a case of Nor rice sides. This is mushroom flavor. Actually, buying through Amazon, I use the subscribe and save, so I ended up paying less for those than at the grocery store. There were 8 in that case, but we've already eaten a couple of them, so there's only 6 left. So we also got a case of country sausage gravy. This was also from Amazon, subscribe and save. We love this kind of sausage gravy in a can. It's a really easy meal solution. My daughter absolutely loves it. It's one of her favorite meals. Just, you know, bake up some biscuits either from scratch, or you can use frozen biscuits, canned biscuits from a mix, whatever you like. And you can have a quick and easy breakfast for dinner. We do that a lot. We take these camping a lot. So that's another thing, is we'll be camping this summer. My sister got me hooked on that. She takes the canned gravy and she bakes the biscuits up before she leaves and puts them in a Ziploc. And one morning when she's camping, she just toasts them up on the campfire or the grill or whatever, warms up the gravy, and it's a great breakfast. And so we started doing that. And that is a favorite of our family. And then behind here, these are not part of my preps. These belong to my daughter. She set them there one afternoon and swore that she would put them away when she got home from work, but here they are, still sitting there several days later. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Anyhow, behind that we have got, these are the diced tomatoes with green chilies. This is just the Walmart brand. I've got a case of these, 12 of these. They have them in a 6-pack for about $4 if you order them through the website. So that's what I did because that's about the cheapest way I can find them, and we use a lot of those. And then diced green chilies, I've grabbed 4 of these smaller cans. I have quite a few of the bigger cans in my pantry, but the smaller cans I can't get at my store. I have to get them at another store. I happen to be there, so I grabbed them. Lifestraws, we got a couple more Lifestraws. Our goal is to have one of these in every bug out bag for every member of the family. So these were a really good price, so I got a couple more of these. Yeah, we have got 6 people in the house right now. My oldest daughter, she just moved back home for the summer from her apartment that she had for school. And parents, if you have got kids about that age, you know, going off on their own, going off into college, one of the best gifts that you can give them is to put together some sort of a 72-hour emergency kit in a backpack that they can take with them and have with them. They can keep it in their apartment or their dorm room. They can keep it in their vehicle. It's a really great thing to do for them, to teach them to be prepared and give them something that could actually save their life. So these are going to go in our 72-hour bug out bags. So then we've got these Keystone meats, pork and chicken. These are big cans. These are 28-ounce cans. I think I got some of these off of Amazon and some of these off of Walmart. They've been kind of hard to find lately, but they're getting easier now that things are calming down. So I would not pay more than $6 or $7 for one of those cans. So keep an eye out for them for that price, because you never know who's selling them and marking up the price. So then we've got some Italian dressing. I grabbed 4 of those. I have a system of that I do when I'm trying to stock up on things without spending a whole lot of money at once. When I use one, I buy 2. So we just finished a bottle of Italian dressing, so I would typically have bought 2 bottles, but because we're coming into summer and we're going to probably eat a lot of pasta salads and stuff that use Italian dressing, I bought actually 4 so that we would have more of those. We got these ketchups. You can see a whole bunch of these. I get these at Dollar Tree, and this is a pretty huge bottle. This is I can't read it, but it's a 38-ounce bottle, I think. And that is about the best deal, the biggest bottle of ketchup that I can find for $1. So I get quite a few of those every time I see them, because our Dollar Tree does not always have that type of ketchup in that big bottle. And we go through quite a bit of ketchup here. My son is a ketchup fiend. So these are just some wipes that I grabbed. This was actually a clearance deal, 3 packs for $2. I thought that was a pretty awesome deal, so I got the only 2 that they had at our Walmart. I've never even seen this brand before. I usually just buy the Walmart brand, but these are a perfect addition to toilet paper. They can sub in for toilet paper. I know last year when the toilet paper craze was going on and it became very difficult to find toilet paper, I could still find the wet wipes. So we always have those. We got a box of contractor bags. These are good to have. You want to have plenty of these in case of an emergency. Waste management, taking care of waste, will become an issue. And the other thing is these, if you get the really thick contractor bags, these can be used for a lot of things. These are a great addition to stick 1 or 2 into any kit that you have, any bug out bag, any get home bag, go bag, anything you have. You can use them for all sorts of things. You can use them to make a shelter. You can use them to lay down on the ground like a ground cover. You could cut into them and make a poncho out of them if you needed to. You can stuff them with leaves or grass or hay or anything like that and make something to sleep on if you're desperate. So that's a really good thing to have. Those are pretty expensive, so I just grab some when I can. And I've got 3 of these cornmeals. These are super cheap. These were barely over $1 a bag for 2 pounds of cornmeal. And this is the kind that I used when I did my Just Add Water cornbread mix, and that was absolutely amazing. So this is fine cornmeal. Now obviously you see these are stored in paper bags, so if you're going to be storing these for long term, you would want to do something different with them. You could repackage these in mason jars. You could repackage them into Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. If you really want to have a lot of corn meal stored up for the long term, it's actually best to store dry corn. You can store dent corn or popcorn and have a grinder and make your own cornmeal. But these I am going to be making up a few more batches, quite a few more batches of the Just Add Water cornbread mix. So that's what's going to happen to these. And here we just have some random stuff here. And now the takeaway that I want you to take from this is that if you are just getting into prepping, or you want to get into prepping, but it seems overwhelming, I know that's what holds a lot of people back, is they just don't know where to start, or they think they can't afford it. And here's the thing, you don't have to buy cases and cases of anything. I see people posting videos with, you know, $3,000 prepper hauls. You don't have to do that. You can literally start one can at a time. You know, if that's all you can do, that's all you can do. But you start somewhere and step by step, and it'll eventually add up. You'd be surprised at how quickly you'll get there. This can of corned beef hash is just, this is a bigger can, twice as big, and I don't believe they have that at our store, so I was at a different store, so I grabbed one of those. I grabbed one of these enchilada sauces. This is a different brand than what we usually get and what we have at our store, and it was cheaper. So here's another takeaway, is you do not want to store, you don't want to stock up on a whole bunch of something that you've never tried, because if you don't like it and it's not up to your standards, you don't want to have cases and cases of it. So you need to try things before you stock up on them. So I'm trying this enchilada sauce to see if we like this just as well as the one we typically use. A couple of cans of whole baby clams. That's another protein. These are pretty cheap. These are less than $2, and I just used up a can. So like I said, I try to use one and buy two, and that helps me stock up slowly over time. I got 2 of these media crema Nestle. These are really kind of awesome. I will do a video on these at some point. It's basically like heavy cream in a can. So the expiration on these, I just bought these. They're good till September 2022. So they're good for about a year and a half. And you can do all kinds of things with these. You can make butter with this, and you can make a sour cream with this. So these are a really handy thing to have for emergencies because they're shelf stable. Okay, I guess I lied. I did get one more number 10 can that was not Thrive Life. This is the Augustin Farm Morning Mousse. I am going to be doing a taste test with my kids on the different milks that you can stock up on. I have the Thrive Life instant milk, of course, and we love that. And I have heard good things about this, and there's a couple more, so I'm going to compile those, and we're going to do a taste test with them. Because once again, you want to make sure that you're storing what your family will eat. And so these cans, this treat is something that I found at the other store that we don't have at our, well, I don't think we have it at our store, but this was actually even cheaper than, I think it's basically like Spam. And I know some people are not into that, but I actually kind of like Spam. It's not Spam, I buy the Great Value brand, and this was even cheaper than that for the same size of can, so I thought I would buy one of these to try. And these cooked hams, the same. I was surprised. I didn't realize how cheap these are. I don't really have ham stored up in my food storage because Thrive Life no longer makes a freeze-dried ham. And I thought these were a lot more expensive than they were. This ham was less than $4. And then I found this brand at the other store, which was actually less than $3. Now, I've heard good things about this. I don't know about this one, but we're going to try these too and see if these are something that we do want to add to our food storage. And if we can go with the cheaper brand over this brand. And then Nutella, we just got a couple big jars of this because my daughter loves this. And actually one of them is open in the pantry and it's probably half gone by now. Something else that we got, and I do consider this part of my preps because books and information are something that's often overlooked, but it's very important because you've got to think, where do you usually go when you need to find something out or how to do something? You probably run to Google or Pinterest or the internet. I know that's what I do. You have to realize that in a lot of different emergency situations, those things may not be available. We may not have access to the internet, electricity, so you need books, you need your recipes printed out, you need to know how to do things without turning to the internet. So this, I got this Instant Pot Meals in a Jar cookbook. You know I love my meals in a jar. So this, someone said some good things about this, so I thought I would give it a try. I don't know how thrilled I'm going to be with it because the meals in a jar that I prefer to do are completely 100% in the jar. All you have to do is add water, and these, a lot of these have extra ingredients that you have to add at the end, you know, that you have to finish up with, and I really don't really want to deal with that. So we'll see though. I might get some good ideas from there. This book is this is actually two of the same thing, basically. Stocking up. This is a book that my mother had. She had this exact same red copy, I think, when I was a child. And this is, I think this is just a newer edition of the same book. I'm not really sure what differences they have, but I grabbed this first off of eBay because this has all sorts of, I thought it was just canning and pickling and all of that stuff, but it actually has all sorts of information on, harvesting, freezing, canning, drying, dehydrating. It's got all sorts of information. So I grabbed this one, and then I ended up finding a really good deal on this version, which I'm very nostalgic about because this is the exact same copy that my mother had that I remember from when I was a child. So I grabbed this. I was hoping to find her recipe for dilly beans and zucchini relish, and I did find the dilly beans. I'm assuming that's the recipe she used, but I did not find a zucchini relish, so I'm going to have to ask her about that. So the crowning glory from this week's preps is all of these canning jars that I've picked up. We are just starting to get the garden put in, so I'm really starting to think about preserving food, and canning jars haven't always been easy to find in the last year and a half, so it's one of those things. That's what prepping is all about. We buy what we want before we need it, in case we can't find it when we need it. So I have grabbed a whole bunch. Now this is the crowning glory on my mason jar haul, because these are 1.5 pints. They come in a case of 9, and they are very hard to find. They're much harder to find, at least they have been for me, than any of the other sizes. So these are right between a pint and a quart, and I have really been wanting these. And sometimes when I want something and I can't find it, it gets to a point of obsession. So I found one case at my local store, and I just went on the hunt, and I've been able to find one at a time. I've only purchased them one at a time, but I have found 6 cases. So these are, I made a post on one of my canning groups, and so many people responded. These are so many people's favorite size of jars. I really wanted these because, well, you know, they're good for something like pickled asparagus, something that's really tall, maybe some dill beans if you're using really long beans. But I wanted them for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think they'll be perfect. If you saw my video where I made my Just Add Water cornbread mix, it was too much for a pint jar, but it didn't fill the quart jar, and I think these jars might be the perfect fit. It was not a big deal, but it kind of irked me. So I'm going to try and see if it will fit into these jars. I'm hoping it will fit perfectly. The other thing is I would like to can meatloaf, and if you're canning meatloaf, you're going to want either these, the 1.5 pints, or let's see, the wide mouth pints, because you can see they both have a completely straight side. They have no neck on the bottle. So if you can something like meatloaf, you'll be able to get it out a lot easier without having to chunk it up. But so I have got 6 cases of the 1.5 pints, which I am extremely excited about. I'll get more if I find them. I've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases of the wide mouth pints. I'm not sure how that happened. I thought I had ordered 2 cases. I picked up one more case when I found it in my store, and then 4 cases showed up at my house. So I guess I must have accidentally ordered 2 cases twice. I am not really sure what happened there. But anyhow, I also have 3 cases of the regular mouth pints. I have got 2 cases of 1/2 pints. One is the short and squat, and then one is the taller and skinnier. I have got 2 more cases of wide mouth quarts, which I use those for a lot of my meals in a jar and other things. And then I've got a case here of the regular mouth quarts. I kind of lucked out on this one. My oldest daughter needed some mason jars for a craft or some sort of project she was doing, and she only needed 2. So she bought a whole case and gave me the rest of the case, so I kind of scored there. I picked up a tub of pickle crisp to have on hand because sometimes I'm not able to find this. I wanted to make sure that if I needed it, I would have it. And this is pretty sad, but this is all the lids I have been able to find without paying. I'm not going to pay exorbitant prices. I should be okay. I have all these new jars, so I should be okay with lids, and I also believe in reusing the lids if they're not damaged. I know you're not supposed to do that, but a lot of people do. So I'll be all set for now. And then I found this. This is kind of cool. I have never seen this before. I found it at Walmart with the canning jars. It is called the Nomad Mason Jar Traveling Food Warmer. I saw this and I thought this was so cool. It comes with one wide mouth pint. It's made to fit a wide mouth pint jar. It plugs in and it's kind of like a little mini crock pot that will warm up your food in the mason jar. And I was thinking of it for meals in a jar, because I know I do a lot of family size meals in a jar in the quart jars. But if you put them in a pint jar, they're more like an individual size. I know a lot of people who make that to take to work with them. They just put water in it and put it maybe in the microwave or whatever. But this, I thought this would be great to mix up some little individual size meals in a jar in a pint jar. I'm going to try this. And because if this really worked, this would be great for like college students. This would be great for truck drivers. It doesn't have the, I don't know, is it the 12 volt plug? Is that what they call it? It doesn't have the little car plug, but you could use an adapter for that. So I'm kind of excited about this. It was only just over $20, and I think this could be great for so many things. Not really so much for SHTF, but I'm going to try this out for my meals in a jar. So I'll try to get a video done on that and let you know how this works. So there you have it, guys. That's what we've been prepping this week. Prices are going up for sure. And if you buy food now and you buy things at a lower price and you eat it later when things are more expensive, that's money in the bank. That's an investment. So really, just keep on prepping, because this is what's going to help you survive today so that you can thrive tomorrow. We'll see you next time.